Good morning, everybody. Y'all know what today is? It's our favorite day to debate believers because it's the Sabbath. We like Sabbath debates. Anyway, welcome back to the channel where you can watch an undereducated hick from Alabama perform an intellectual takedown of the Christian faith, doctrine, and logic for your entertainment. But also to make the world a better place, maybe to combat the rise of this ridiculous Christian nationalism, because it is ridiculous and it's stinky and nobody likes it. Except Christian nationalists. They seem to love it. One second, my headpiece is having a bit of an issue here. Something happening to this. Okay. Alright, got it. Oh shit. Okay. Alright. Now, alright. Y'all know that the best friend of this channel is Dr. Joshua Boeing. He writes awesome books like this, where he teaches one how to learn ancient Hebrew. Isn't that fun? And you can learn ancient Hebrew. It's not even that hard. It's a pretty simple language, actually. Also, if you're interested in learning something like that, he is having a free webinar on April 25th of this month, which is also a Sabbath. So come check it out. It's totally free. You can sign up for that, I guess, on digitalhammurabi.com. So come do it. Also, in Huntsville, Alabama, this October, and when I say I mean the conference is going down, and that's the Rocket City Reason Conference. And yeah, it's going to be freaking awesome. And you can come and hang out with the biggest names in the world of deconstruction and atheist debates there is. And I mean the biggest names, like the number ones, y'all. And you can get your tickets for that at rocketcityreason.com and come hang out with us. Good morning, buddy. Going to a Renaissance fair. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool, actually. Yep, that's right. We're on a little early today. I actually would have been on a little bit earlier, but I was trying to get this coward-ass Magaday to bring me up and debate him about Christianity, and he wouldn't do it. He kept asking me questions. I was like, invite me up. I'll tell you why it's false. He's like, but why is it false? I was like, invite me up. I will tell you. And he just kept like asking me more questions. He would never actually invite me up. So I was like, all right then, fuck off, pussy. I'll go start my life, I guess. I guess that's what I'll do. But anyway, hopefully we'll have some good discussions today. Good morning, Dan. What's up? What's up? Let's see. Oh, we got somebody requesting up already. Trip Ships. Hey, Trip Ships, you there?
Yes, sir. What's up? What's up?
What's up, man? Are you over 18?
I am.
Awesome. Are you one of the Christians?
I am a Christian.
Well, cool, man. Would you like me to explain why you've been lied to about this religion?
I definitely do. I'm definitely here to hear your thoughts on this.
Well, the New Testament lied about the Old Testament. They lied about what Jesus did, who he was, what he told you, and probably who God was too. Like, this God is evil. This God isn't good. He doesn't love everybody.
What resource do you have for that?
Oh, the Bible. You know, his good book.
Can you tell me where in the Bible it says, or like what you're claiming?
That God is evil?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does evil stuff. He like murders babies and has women raped and stuff like that for nothing, for stuff they didn't even do. That's pretty evil to me. I don't know what you think, but
where does it
I
say
always
that?
feel like that's evil. It says it in a bunch of spots. Most famously, Isaiah 13.
Isaiah 13?
Yeah, it's the proclamation against Babylon.
Okay, so Babylon. Do you know the purpose of Babylon?
Yeah, it's the destroy. He makes a proclamation against it. He's destroying it.
Why did he destroy it?
Because he used the Babylonians to enslave the Israelites when they stopped keeping his law, and then he punished them for having enslaved the Israelites, even though he made them do it. So that's why I say he's evil,
We are
because
talking
he does
about like
stuff
the
like that.
Tower of Babel, right? This is Babylonian people.
Yeah,
So during
it's still
this,
people,
everybody
isn't it?
spoke the same language. There was no mixed races during that time until it was destroyed.
Well, that's just a false Bible story. That's just not true. But
How can you claim that's not true?
because there's like history books and stuff, and we know people were speaking lots of different languages way before the Tower of Babel was ever built. So
So
it's
you're
just
using
easily
like
disprovable.
science and archaeologists and for the Bible?
That's one method, but we can just read what the Bible says too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it says their infants will be dashed to pieces before their eyes, their houses will be plundered, and their wives will be raped. So I am stirring up the Medes against them, who have no regard for silver and do not delight in gold. Their bows will slaughter the young men. They will have no mercy on the fruit of the womb, and their eyes will not pity children. So yeah, this is God ordering that babies be murdered and women be raped and pregnant women put to the sword.
Can you read
You don't think
the
that's
text right
evil?
before that real quick?
Which part?
So the scripture you just read, right? What does it say right before it as well? So we can have like back contest, this
So
contest, and what's after.
yeah, so before that, God's just making the decree. It's all about, like, just for example, I'll start up here. We'll start closer to the top. It says, I myself have commanded my consecrated ones. I have summoned my warriors, my proudly exulting ones, to execute my anger. So that's God claiming he's commanding the Medes to do this to Babylon. It says, listen, a tumult on the mountains, as of a great multitude. Listen, an uproar of the kingdoms of nations gathering together. The Lord of hosts is mustering an army for battle that will come from a distant land, from the ends of the heavens, the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole earth. Well, for the day of the Lord is near. It will come like destruction from the Almighty. Therefore, all hands will be feeble, and every human heart will melt. And he's just saying pains are going to seize them in agony, and it's going to be an awful, awful day. Then
So
he
he's
gets into
basically
the
describing like, hey, like this is what's happening, and then during it, that's what happened.
yeah, yeah. He's
So it's
making a
not God
proclamation against
commanding it. It's
Babylon.
just God saying, hey, we've revolted an army to stop what is coming, because what is coming is the death of children, the death of many men, the rape of
No,
people.
God commands it. It literally says God is commanding it. I read that part.
Hold on, I'm going to open my Bible too so I can see as well. And you said it
Yeah, go
was,
ahead.
what was it?
Isaiah chapter 13.
Isaiah chapter 13. All right, give me 1 second. Let's see, Isaiah. $9.38. Let's go ahead and go there.
What exactly are you looking for?
Right now I'm looking for Isaiah. And so which chapter and what verse real quick?
I was in chapter 13, verse 3, where God literally commands it himself, and then verse 14 and 15 is where it gets down into what's going to happen.
You said Isaiah 13. What was the second part? Verse what?
Verse 3 is where he commands it all, and then 15 and 16 is where he reads the good parts.
All right. Let's go ahead and see what this says. So you said Isaiah chapter 13, verse 3?
Yeah, that's where he commands it.
All right. I have commanded my sanctioned ones. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even those who rejoice in my exaltation. The noise of the multitude in the mountains, like as of the great people, a tumultuous noise of kingdoms, of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts musters the army for battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven. The Lord and the weapons of his indignant to destroy the whole land. Wail, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as destruction from the Almighty. Therefore all hands shall be faint, even if man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as the woman who travails. They shall be amazed at one another. Their faces shall be as flames. See, the day of the Lord comes cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy its sinners out of it. So what I'm seeing is he's talking about, because if we go right before that as well, the burden of Babylon. You know what Babylon was doing during this time, right? And why God did this, right?
Yeah, I already told you.
Okay, so what was Babylon doing during this time?
The same thing everybody else was.
Raping, murdering, killing people, doing everything that basically the sin of Cain.
Yep, same as the Israelites.
So why did God send his army to go desolate them?
I told you, because he used them to enslave the Israelites, and then he punished them for enslaving the Israelites.
Where does it say that they enslaved the Israelites?
That's what happened. Have you ever read this?
Yeah, I've read it, but I'm still now looking back into what I've read, because now I'm trying to see, it's like, okay, I'm trying to see your point of view.
Yeah, these are all about the Babylonian captivity. That was Babylon enslaving the Israelites.
And what were the Israelites doing at this time?
God had them enslaved because they stopped keeping his laws.
Yep. And so they started doing a lot of heinous stuff. So then Babylon...
Yeah, the same thing everyone else was doing. So God saw fit to have babies' brains bashed out and a bunch of women raped. So how is that not evil?
God never commanded them to rape them, destroy them like that.
Verse 3, verse 3, Isaiah 13, I myself have commanded my consecrated ones. He's literally commanding it.
It says it. I commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger.
Right. Who's that commanding stuff?
So where is his commandment that he told them to go rape and kill them?
Read verse 3 again.
There's nothing that says, he says, I have commanded my sanctioned ones, but there's nothing telling them.
I have commanded. I myself have commanded. That's God saying, I myself, that's me, God, have commanded, right?
Commanded what? What did they command?
Commanded the proclamation against Babylon. Y'all sure have a lot of trouble with reading comprehension, it seems like.
Well, I'm reading the same one, but I don't see him command the
so who is commanding something in Isaiah 13 here? Who is doing the commanding
sending his army to end the destruction of rape and the murder of people?
There you go. No, he's not saying no. Just don't say God sending.
So God
doesn't say. Okay, stop talking for a second.
The Babylonians.
Nope. That's a whole bunch of nonsense you just said. This is the proclamation against Babylon. Does not say that God is sending them to stop the Babylonians from doing mean stuff. This says God is commanding them to destroy Babylon. He's stirring up the Medes against them.
He told them to destroy them. Yes. But where
what is some of the other proclamation he makes in this passage here? This is all a prophecy from God. He's speaking this himself. This is God talking. You know that, right?
Yeah, this is all God right here, right? But I don't see
All
in the
right. So when
scripture where
God
he's
says their
saying
infants will
go
be
rape
dashed to
their
pieces
children.
before their eyes, their houses will be plundered, and their wives will be raped, that's God speaking those words
Burden of
through
Babylon,
Isaiah.
which Isaiah the son of Amos saw, lift up the banner on the high mountains, exalt the voice to them. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even those who rejoice in my exaltation. The noise of multitude in the mountains, life is of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms, of nations
It's
gathered together.
tumultuous.
Thank you. The
You're
Lord of
welcome.
hosts muster the army for battle. They come from far country, for the end of earth, the Lord, and the weapons of his indigent to destroy the whole land. Wherefore
Indignation.
the day of the Lord is at hand, it shall come as destruction from the Almighty. Therefore all hands shall be faint, and even men's hearts shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as women who travails. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. See, the day of the Lord comes cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. He shall destroy its sinners out of it. For the stars of heaven and their constellations shall not give their light. The sun will be dark when it rises, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. I will punish the world for its evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogance of the proud to cease, and will lay low the Huginites of the ruthless. I will make man more rare than fine gold, and mankind than the gold wedge of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall be shaken out of her place, at the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. It shall be as chaste roe as the sheep that no man takes up. Every man shall turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. Every one who is found shall be thrust through, and every one who is joined to them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be devastated, and their wives ravished. You know what that's explaining, right? That if
Yep.
these people keep riding in their sin, that if these people keep sanctifying in that sin, then that sin will be completely abolished and the lands will be separated completely. Correct?
No.
So what it's saying is, if the man of the household, like I'll reread it too, and everyone who is joined to them shall fall by the sword.
Does that
Their
say
children
everyone or
also
every
shall be
man?
dashed to pieces before their eyes.
Does
So if
that say
someone
everyone or every
chooses
man? Does
to
that say
go
everyone
against
or
what God
every
has now
man? Does it
commanded,
say every?
he's going to wipe it
Dude,
out,
stop
right?
talking. This is a conversation. No, not right. It's saying everyone in Babylon. You're changing words constantly when you try to explain to me what's happening here. When I already know what's happening here, you're the one who don't know what's happening here.
I just read the
This
scripture that
is
you
the
told me to read.
destruction of Babylon. I know you did, and then you immediately said something different than what you just read.
How? That if you don't go to your own land, you're going to
You
be
said
killed
this
for
is
it?
about some men in Babylon when you literally just read a sentence that said everyone who is called. This doesn't say every man. It says everyone who is called will fall by the sword.
Everyone who is found.
Everyone.
Everyone who is found disobeying what God has done will be
This
killed.
isn't about
Their children
disobeying
will be killed,
God. This
and
is
their
a
wives will be killed.
proclamation. It's a prophecy. You understand that, right?
Yeah, this is just a prophecy, but this is just explaining exactly what's going to happen when they turn away from God.
Exactly. It's explaining exactly what's going to happen. And he's going to have their babies' brains bashed out, and he's going to have their wives raped right in front of them. So that's evil.
Yeah, it's pretty evil, but if you choose to stay with evil, then why can't evil be fought with evil?
Because this is God making this stuff happen. He's bashing babies' brains out and having women raped. This is your God. Does
Yeah,
that
it's
not bother
definitely
you?
my God. So should we also bring up Noah when everybody chose to
What
fall
about
short of that
Noah?
one?
What about Noah?
Noah, the flood of the earth. Everybody chose to
What do you think
completely
about this?
dash
That
and walk
so you're
away,
just saying
right?
it doesn't
So
bother
what
you
did
that
Noah do?
so this just doesn't bother you that God's having babies' brains bashed out here?
If you choose the life of Satan, no.
Okay, well, thank you for admitting it. You're fine with God bashing babies' brains out. That had nothing to do with anything. Congratulations, buddy. You're morally bankrupt.
No, I just like following what God has. If God
Well, I
says,
guess
hey,
you
turn
haven't
away
been
from
lied
your
to.
sins, stop
You know
following what
exactly
Satan
what's
puts
God
out,
doing. You know exactly what
then that's
God's
going to
doing.
happen.
You're just fine with it. Yeah, I know.
Okay. So then, if
All
we're going to
right.
use
Well,
this as an
you worship
example,
a
why don't we talk about how
congratulations.
God wiped out the
You
whole earth,
worship a
killed and drowned
you worship a
everybody?
yeah. We know he did because your
Yeah.
God's a
And
psychotic
why did he do
murderer
it?
who can't set up a decent
Because
system.
everybody chose the sin of Cain. Would you rather
Yeah,
the
so he
sin of
murders a
Cain
bunch of
still be there,
babies
or
all the
would you rather
time.
be a
Like,
sperm?
what exactly are you getting at?
This is
Huh?
explaining why God was like, hey, if you don't want to listen, if you want to choose the path of Satan, if you want to choose this path, then I'm not going to let you live and I'm not going to protect you. My army will sanctify you, correct?
Well, this ain't the case of him not protecting them. This is the case of him actively murdering them.
He's not the one who's murdering them. He just sent people to do it.
Oh yeah? Oh really? Who sent the waters over the earth?
That one was God. He even explained that
Oh,
he
so it was
opened up the
God. Yeah,
gates of heaven.
okay. So God murdered them.
He
Okay,
opened up
so I
the
was right.
floodgates.
Thanks. Hmm.
You're not right about this one. And for the Noah, he opened the gate floods and he warned people for over 120 years, gave them the chance.
That's a
And what
that's a
did
cute
everybody
story.
do? Everybody chose to turn face, rape people, keep
You mean
killing people, doing
they
heinous
didn't listen
sin.
to
So
the
God
old
was
guy
like,
who's
all
saying,
right,
"Hey, in
we're
400
only going to
years
start with
the earth's
Noah
gonna flood," and
and
they
his
wasn't
sons and
bothered by
wives.
that? Probably not. Yeah.
You said what?
People don't even live 100 years. How is somebody who got warned 100 years ago gonna give a fuck when they died 50 years before that? That makes no sense.
This is all the past. When everybody was living a different life, where God was fully involved. And what did God do after that? He started making covenants. Best example of Noah's covenant, where he was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore because it's wrong. If God can
I
tell
hear you.
everybody that he has
Karina, are you
done
there?
wrong and that he won't.
Karina, are you there? Karina, hello, Karina. I don't think Karina's here on purpose. Hey, sorry, trip ships. You can unmute yourself there. I was trying to see
No,
what
you're
was up
good.
with
I know
her.
you had somebody pop up real quick, so you're all good, man. So, like, again, like, you know
Okay.
how God told Noah, hey, I have done very wrong. And Noah was after, the Babylon, everything with this, right? And even though this is prophecy, this is just describing everything in the future. Like, we all know Noah's story, right? Built the ark, brought the animals with, but it was only
Yeah,
him,
we all
his
know it
wife,
was
his 3 sons,
plagiarized
and
from
3 daughters, right?
Sumerian Epic of
If
Gilgamesh. I get
God
it. Yeah.
realized his own hatred towards his own creation and was like, you know what? I will never do this again. And made that covenant with
No, he
Noah.
didn't say. No, he said he would never flood the earth again. He didn't promise not to kill everybody again. He promised never not to do it with water. It says next
So he
time I'm going
promised
to
not to
drown you with
kill
fire.
everybody again, right? Because flooding
No,
is going
that's
to
not
kill
right.
everybody, right?
No,
So you're saying that you can swim for months and you'll be
no,
fine.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the promise was not to not kill everyone again. The promise was that he wouldn't do it by flooding the world again. That's what his promise was. That's what I'm saying. You have a vast misunderstanding of scripture here.
No, it's all right here, right in front of us. And if God can understand that he's done wrong, then I
I know,
think
but if
with
it's
today's
not in front of you,
society,
if you
if
don't
God
actually
wanted
read what
to
it's telling
command
you and
everybody to
comprehend
do
it,
the
though.
same thing, but he hasn't.
I
If
know.
God has
Why
understood
in the
that
world
the
would
evil
anybody
that he
want to
has
keep
put
this
out
God's
is
horrible
wrong,
laws? Like nobody
then
gives a
what does
shit
that
about
mean?
worshiping this baby murdering God of yours. Like nobody wants to worship a baby murdering God except Christians. For some
Okay,
reason,
so
y'all
what
think
God
that's
do you
love and
follow?
mercy, which is
Are you an
I don't follow any
atheist
gods.
or what religion do you
Yeah,
follow?
I'm an atheist.
Atheist? Okay. So, in your eyes, every single god that is, the Quran, Buddhism, like all these things are all the same.
No, they're not all the same.
So, the Quran condemns the death of children and people every single day if you don't follow their stuff. How is that not wrong?
The Quran's
Buddhism, they talk
worshiping the
about
same God you
peace,
are.
but
They just have
if you
different
go against
prophets.
violence against them, they'll kill you for it. That doesn't make any sense.
It's the same in the Bible.
When has God done it?
It's the same God. It's literally the
Yes.
same God. And we just read a whole chapter where God does it. Actually, we read two.
God told in this chapter that we read, God said, if you choose the life, basically, like if you choose this life other than us and you don't go back to your own lands, my army's going to take you out. We're not going to let
Yeah,
sin
don't you
keep going,
understand
right?
that you think God is giving people free will, and when they use it wrong, he kills them?
Back then,
That's not free will.
oh yeah, it got him pretty pissed.
Yeah, also, he was really mad that people wouldn't kill their kids.
Are you reading the comments too? Because I am as well.
No, I had somebody else requesting up there.
You should let them join as well.
Anyway, why in the world do you worship this baby murdering God?
One
Especially if
thing
you
for
know it
sure
was murdering
is,
babies.
this God
Yo,
has
yo.
done more good than evil, and he has proven to be better than evil. And last I checked,
No,
like
he's
even if
proven to have
this
done a whole
God
bunch of
can
evil. Like,
learn
why in
from
the
his
world would
own
I listen to
mistakes
a
and know
God?
that he
Okay.
won't do something again, it's
All right, sorry, just a second there. Baby, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hold on, I want to talk to Trip Ships.
You're not a Christian?
I'm not a Christian.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a single host show for the most part there. But yeah, I get it. Hold on just a second. Hey,
Salam
Felix,
alaikum.
are you there?
Yeah,
Hey, you're over 18 and you're a Christian?
yeah, Muslim.
Muslim?
Yes.
We're just looking to talk to Christians, man.
Okay.
All right, thanks for coming up. Sorry, Trip Ships. Got a bunch of things there.
no,
All right,
you're
so
good,
why
you're
was you
good.
saying you worship this baby murdering God again?
So what I follow is in the past, one thing I've definitely understood is, God created all, God created the earth, right? But what he created was to lead away from sin. He never wanted sin to be born, right? So when sin was born and Satan started turning, all this stuff started going wrong, right? People started killing each other, raping each other, destroying homes, burning each other down. So when God
Yeah, so
sees
God
that
saw fit since we were killing and raping each other. God thought, hey, I'll
to
just do
end
the
it
same thing. I'll
and make
kill them and
sure
rape them.
it's done. But
Yeah.
what happened after that is since God kept intervening, God kept getting involved, and it got so bad that he literally killed off the human race besides Noah and his wife and his 3 sons and their 3 wives, right? When that happened, God made that covenant where he was like, okay, I'm done stepping in. I'm done doing this. I'm not going to step in and wipe out any more people. Because if that was the case, God would still be doing it today.
Well, that's not even close to what it says. So what are you talking about?
Then what is Noah's covenant?
There's no covenant with Noah. He just made a
Yes, there
promise that
is.
he wouldn't flood the earth again. That's it.
All right, let's go to Noah's book, right? And that's all going to be in Genesis.
So once
Genesis
we
or
read
Exodus,
that
one
and
of those
prove
two.
you wrong, you're going to change what your mind about this, right?
I don't think you're going to be able to change my mind, but I'm definitely
Yeah, he said, I
here to
promise these
listen.
waters will never go over the earth again. He promises never to flood the earth again. He doesn't promise
So
he's
that
not going to
was
kill
Noah's
everybody
covenant,
again.
right?
Huh?
If God promised to never intervene like that again, what is that?
He didn't promise not to intervene. He promised not to flood the earth again. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're extremely mistaken on what God promised here.
So then what did God promise?
Here, let's read it. Where we at here? Yeah, he says, I will
No, God
never
didn't say
again
he was
curse the
going to
ground.
promise he's not
Hold
to end
on, I was
humanity.
literally just started reading it. I will never again curse the ground because of humans, for the indignation of the human heart is evil from youth, nor will I ever
There you
again
go.
destroy every legion creature as I have done. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and day and night shall not cease.
There you go. God told him, I am done.
There-
I will not do it again.
I will not flood the earth again.
And what did you say before that? That he was not going to intervene anymore, that he was not going to do it anymore, right?
And he still intervenes a whole lot.
Where's the proof that he's intervened? It's like
Isaiah
where is that?
13.
Isaiah 13.
Isaiah 13.
That's a prophecy.
Yep. I
Not
know.
action.
Where he clearly commands people to do things and intervenes. He has Jerusalem destroyed. He has the Israelites enslaved after the flood. So if he's not intervening, then you have a major
After
contradiction.
the flood,
here,
there
if that's
was
what
no
you think it's
humankind. It was only Noah and his family.
Huh?
Yeah. When the earth was flooded, it was only left with Noah. No, there were no other survivors.
I know.
That is
That's why they had to
months.
incest humanity back together. This is all a crazy story.
Chosen. They are the chosen ones.
Do you really think 8 people like just screwed each other as a family and repopulated the earth?
Yeah. Where do you think Adam and Eve started? How do
There
you
was
think the
no
human
Adam
race
and Eve,
began?
buddy. It's a myth. It's a made up story that you think is true.
And where's your facts for that?
Where's my facts?
Yeah. Where's
The
the proof
fact
that
is,
we never all
humans
started like
can't
this?
fuck their mother and sister and have viable offspring.
Yeah, and that's
It doesn't
today's
work like
society.
that. You know that,
In
right?
today's
Incest is
society,
bad.
and in
It
the
doesn't
Bible, it
work.
describes where he ends all that crap because he was like, okay, no more. The human race is
He began it with that crap. Don't you understand? How do you not get what's happening here?
How do you not
You
get it?
can't incest the world into being. It's impossible.
Man, you really got to open your Bible and see where these state. Because right when it describes Jesus, well, basically God describes, hey, you are not allowed to do the incest stuff anymore because the human population, it's bad. There's nothing to do. Anything else from here will be a curse on your lineage. And that's where all these immoral monsters come from, correct?
So incest was fine, and then all of a sudden God made it bad.
God took the right away for incest. Why do you think people nowadays, when they do all that stuff, they come out with retards? Like, these people
My
with very
God.
severe dysmorphism.
All right, get the fuck out of here, you little. Good God. This religion is brain rot at the times 100. No, I kicked him because he used the R word, and TikTok made me kick him. Oh. Incest makes you an R word, and that's why God started the earth with the R word incest. Like, dude. Really doesn't say much for believers here, does it? Wow. Again, I kicked him because he used a word, and TikTok said either kick him now or your live will be taken down. He used banned language. He said the R word. I know y'all have trouble listening, and simple logic isn't y'all's thing, believers, but yeah, it turns out there's actual standards here we have to go by. Oh, shit. Anyway, if you're a Christian and you want to come up and learn why you've been lied to, I would love to have you up. Or if you want to come up and tell us why incest is great up until God says it's not great, we'll listen to your crazy story then, too. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. I don't think he thought he was losing the argument, though. I think he was far too stupid. People who are that dumb don't think they lose arguments. They pretend they win them all, or they think they win them all. Yeah, I was actually reading it where you read it and then immediately change what you just read to whatever you want it to say. So it's pretty sad. Anyway, let me look at something right here real quick. All right. It says, I will establish my covenant with you that never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of a flood, and never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. That's the actual promise. Maybe you should try reading it sometime. Holy shit. Anyway. Trey, what's up?
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. Thanks. You're over 18?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. And you're one of the Christians?
Yes, sir.
Cool, cool. So, you got something you want to talk about, or you want me to tell you why I think you've been lied to?
Yeah, but I think before you tell me, is it okay if we just like set down like a moral standing real quick on like whose standards we're talking about when we talk about good and evil?
Sure. You can do that if you want.
No, I'm saying like for you, because like if you're like claiming
Oh.
that God is good or evil, I want to know like whose standards like you're using it on.
Oh, I'm using my standard, but we can use God's standard too if you want. He'll fail it either way.
Okay, fine, that's cool. So yeah, can you please tell me how I was lied to, if you don't mind?
Yeah, the New Testament just lies about the prophecies that Jesus fulfills. It says he's a Messiah when he's clearly not. It says God is all love and all justice when he's clearly not. So these are clearly all lies. That's
Okay.
in a nutshell.
If you don't mind me asking, what's the lie about the prophecy about Jesus Christ being the Messiah?
Oh, there's a bunch of them. Like if there's 5 of them in the first 2 chapters of Matthew. Like just for example, in Matthew chapter 1, he says Jesus is fulfilling a prophecy about being born from a virgin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so do you know there's no actual prophecy about that in the Old Testament?
Yeah, I thought you said that was a lie though. He was born from a
It is a
virgin.
lie. There's no prophecy about a Messiah being born from a virgin. It's a lie. The New Testament told.
It's not a lie. He was born from a Virgin Mary.
There's no prophecy about that, is what I said. They're lying about him fulfilling a prophecy.
But he fulfilled it. What do you mean?
You can't fulfill a prophecy that's not a prophecy.
But it is not.
That's my point. Okay, where's there a prophecy about a Messiah being born from a virgin?
What'd you say, sorry?
I said, where is a prophecy about a Messiah being born from a virgin?
Oh, Isaiah 7:14.
Yeah, so okay, I'll read it real quick. It says, therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Look, the young woman is with child and shall bear a son and shall name him Emmanuel. That didn't say nothing about a virgin. This says a young woman is pregnant.
So Isaiah 7:14, the virgin will conceive and give birth to a son.
Yeah, it doesn't say virgin in Hebrew. It says a young woman is currently pregnant, which can't be a virgin because she's pregnant.
It's also translated to a virgin will conceive and give birth to a son.
I know it gets translated to that, but it's a dishonest translation because even most modern Bibles actually put a note in there that says the word that's actually used here in Hebrew, it does not mean virgin.
Well, yeah, because Hebrew, there's multiple different ways you can translate a word. So when they translate Hebrew, they use the word that will most likely be the most common and factual way to conceive it through Hebrew.
Oh, well, they have a word for virgin, so it's not the most common word for virgin.
So
if they meant virgin, it would have said virgin because they use the word virgin in Isaiah when they mean virgin. Isaiah 7 doesn't say virgin. And even if it did, it has nothing to do with the Messiah.
Well, what if it says a virgin will conceive and give birth to a son? Was Mary a virgin?
No.
No. So whenever they say Jesus was born of a virgin,
that's another lie from the New Testament. Yeah, they're making that up. It's written as fiction.
Well, I mean, you have no evidence to prove that it was fiction.
Yeah, I do, because there's no prophecy anywhere in the Bible about that.
We just gave you the prophecy, Isaiah
is clearly
7:14.
making up. That's not a prophecy about a Messiah. It's a prophecy about a war. It's about the Assyrian invasion into Judah 750 years before Jesus, and it doesn't have squat to do with a Messiah.
Well, Isaiah 7:14 points forward to Jesus being born of a virgin.
No, it doesn't.
100% does.
Okay, what is happening in Isaiah chapter 7? What's the context of the chapter? What's going on?
We're talking about verse 14, not the chapter, the verse.
Oh, so you're just cherry picking one verse.
It's not a cherry pick. It's you're asking what the
It
prophecy
is
was.
a cherry
That's the
pick.
prophecy.
What do all the other verses in Isaiah 7 say?
You asked for the prophecy. I'm giving you the verse where the prophecy is told.
And it doesn't even say that. I just read it to you. Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. Look, the young woman is with child and shall bear a son. And I've literally just read it. It doesn't say virgin.
I mean, okay, man. If you just want to lie, I mean, I'm just giving it to you straight up.
A lie?
Yeah,
Here,
I'm giving
I'll
it
read
to you.
again.
I'm giving it to you Isaiah
okay.
chapter 7, verse 14. I'm giving it to you right here.
Yeah, and I'm giving it to you right here. So you're lying.
I mean, clearly not. I'm looking at it right now. It says virgin.
You understand that I'm reading it and it doesn't say virgin, right?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at it right now. So, I mean, unless you're saying that
I
my
know.
eyes are
So why
blind.
do you think so why do you think your version says something different than mine?
Because mine is contacted from people who actually study Hebrew.
Oh, okay. Well, I actually study Hebrew. In fact, I have an entire book right here about learning ancient biblical Hebrew. Have you ever read something like this?
I have a book of Spider-Man. Doesn't mean I'm Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. So now you're just moving to some bullshit because you know you don't know more about Hebrew.
Well, I mean, you just said that just because you have a book means you know something. It's not true.
Okay, so what is Isaiah chapter 7 actually about?
And we're talking about the verse.
I'm trying to talk about something else. There's one verse you can try to cherry pick here that's not going to do you any good because your version is the same as mine. So now let's try to figure out whose version makes more sense.
I mean, you asked for the prophecy. I'm giving you the prophecy.
And I just read the prophecy too. One line from the Old Testament is not a prophecy, sir.
Well, I mean, you asked what is the prophecy of him being born of a virgin. I gave you the prophecy.
I know
now
where
you're claiming it's not the prophecy. So,
Listen,
I mean,
no. It's okay. So what is the actual prophecy here? What is this prophecy talking about?
That a virgin
I'll tell you what.
Listen,
I'll tell you what. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll grant you that it says virgin. I'll say, look, I was so wrong. It actually says virgin. So now, what is this prophecy about a virgin about?
A virgin woman conceiving to a son.
And for what? What's the purpose?
To give birth to the Messiah.
You don't know, do you? You've never read anything in Isaiah chapter 7 except that one line there, have you?
I mean, it's literally, that's the prophecy for Jesus.
I know. That's literally the only thing you can say over and over again, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you asked for the prophecy. I gave you the prophecy.
Now I'm asking for a whole bunch of different stuff, and you just literally keep saying the same over.
That has nothing to do with what we were talking about in the previous section.
Like your brain's broken or something. Like, no, these chapters have actual context and meaning. There's a meaning to this prophecy that Isaiah himself is talking about. Can you tell us?
Okay, so what is the context that is other besides the point of Jesus being?
That's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm asking you.
Well, I gave you the prophecy, and now you're saying that it's not the prophecy. So
you didn't give me a prophecy. You're reading one line over and over again and saying that's explaining things, but it's not. What is the purpose of Emmanuel? Why did God give Isaiah the sign of Emmanuel?
Dude, you can't be real, man.
Just say you don't know.
I mean, you said, where does it say that a virgin will give birth to a son? I give it to you, and now you're saying this isn't true.
No. You told me what a translation says. When I read you a different translation that says something else, you just read the same thing over and over again. So can you answer anything besides what the one verse says in your translation? Is that possible at all?
Well, I mean, you asked me the question, I gave you the answer.
Okay, I asked you a whole bunch of other questions too, and you repeated the same answer from the first question.
Because those questions had nothing to do with the context we were talking about.
They have everything to do with it. What is the sign of Emmanuel for in Isaiah?
Oh, no, educate me. Let's see. Let's see if you know.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us.
The prophecy of Jesus Christ.
Oh, my fucking God. What is Isaiah talking about, man?
When it says that the virgin will conceive.
Why did God give Isaiah the sign of Emmanuel in Isaiah? Why don't you just admit you don't know? Everybody knows you don't know. You've never read this chapter before.
Yeah, I have. I think you had, though.
Okay, what's it about? Prove it.
I don't know why people come in here and say they were used to be Christians just to like try to get.
I don't know why
people.
I don't know why Christians come in here and lie their fucking asses off, and then act like everybody else is the one lying.
I mean, you are lying.
No, you're lying. I know what this chapter's about. You clearly do not, because you're dodging like a child.
You said it lied about a prophecy. I gave you the prophecy, and now you're saying it's not true. So I mean, it's just we can give you anything, but at the end of the day, you're just going to deny.
You're not giving me anything.
I gave you the prophecy,
one line from one translation over and over, and you don't know anything else about it at all, but you're pretending you do.
Because it says it right there.
Okay, so what does it say God gave this sign for Emmanuel for in Isaiah? What is it for? Just admit you don't know. You have no clue what's actually going on in Isaiah chapter 7, do you?
No, I just have no clue what the point of this live is. I thought it was supposed to disprove the
I know you don't, because you're not capable of thinking any deeper than what one line in the New Testament told you to think about.
That's that one line's the prophecy you wanted.
Capability. So are you actually going to engage in the conversation or just move on to the next person?
Well, I mean, that
clearly
one line
demonstrated you have no idea what's actually going on.
That line's the prophecy you wanted, but I mean, all right.
Okay, well, what's the prophecy about?
About a virgin conceiving to a son.
Why?
For the Messiah.
Where does it say that?
The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son.
Where does it say this is about a Messiah?
Well,
we know what verse 14 says. You said it 8,000 fucking times.
It's called context clues.
Okay, so where's the context about this being about a Messiah?
Okay. In the book, in the Bible, not just if you believe it's fake or not, if it's real.
Tell
who
us
is Jesus? How is Jesus born? How is Jesus born?
And verse.
How is Jesus born? How is Jesus born?
He pops out of a vagina. That's
from who? Who is Mary? Who is Mary? A virgin. Mary's a virgin. Mary's a virgin. So there you go.
How's it going, buddy? You're clearly in way over your head here. So we'll just do you a favor and cut you out there. All right, who was next? I think Peyton was next. Peyton, are you there?
Hello. How you doing today?
Hey, what's up, man? Doing good, buddy. Are you over 18?
Yes, I'm 19.
Cool. Are you one of the Christians?
Yes, I'm a Christian. I do have two proofs for you today, but I would like to hear your side or your story. Were you ever like a full devoted Christian, and what kind of turned you away from it?
The Bible turned me away from it, and yeah, I was a Christian up until I was in my late 20s.
Was there any life event that may have affected that, or?
Well, just study.
Well, okay, so I'm going to share my story. I don't know, something told me to come on here. I usually do not go on these lives, but when I was 16, I was clinically dead.
Whoa. We don't need a testimonial. We just talk about the Bible.
Okay, just the Bible?
Yeah.
Can I give you...
Yeah, like just for example, we was talking a second ago. I was talking with the other gentleman who didn't actually know what he was talking about, I don't think. But anyway, we was talking about Matthew claiming that there's a prophecy about a Messiah being born from a virgin, right?
Oh, I don't want to... I just heard that whole debate. I want to get off that topic. I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, okay. I hear you. So which prophecies do you want to... Or what do you want to talk about?
Well, okay, so my first proof was my proof when I died, but we can skip that one. I do have a scientific proof that you might be more interested in. Have you ever heard of the researcher Ron Wyatt?
He's not a researcher, he's a nurse.
But did you ever see the discovery he found?
I've seen the discoveries he claimed to find that's not backed up by anybody. It's literally just lies. He didn't find anything.
Well, the science behind it says that he found a sarcophagus with remains dating over 2,000 years old with the chromosomes of only having one parent.
That's completely false.
Would you please look it up, though, and look into that for me?
I've already looked it up. It's a bunch of nonsense.
Can you explain how that's nonsense,
bringing it up right now. because he made it up. There's no science behind any of that. Nobody found a tomb in the first century and says, "Oh, this person only had one chromosome from a parent." That makes no sense.
Well, no,
You
he
can't
was
form a
missing.
human with one chromosome.
No, he didn't have a single chromosome. He was missing the exact chromosomes to have two parents.
All right. Well, do you know anything at all about the Bible?
Yes, I have read the Bible, but I've read the King James version, and I understand that is like they speak in tongues, so you can't really take it too literally.
So you're telling me in the King James you can read a prophecy and not take it literally?
Well, some of them is you can take some of that literally. It's just I just think nitpicking the Bible and finding these like holes and stuff isn't the best way to go about it. It's never.
It's the perfect way to go about it, because I was raised thinking this book was perfect. There was no contradictions or errors or anything of the such. But it turns out it's riddled with them.
I wish I could share. I wish I could share my personal story with you, but I know you're gonna kick me.
Well, it won't do any good. Like, you're just going to be like, I died one time and saw Jesus, but it doesn't
I didn't
matter
see
because people
Jesus.
die and say nothing. Well, I'm just saying it doesn't matter. Personal testimony is not going to do anybody any good. We can't debunk your personal testimony.
Like the hospital called me a clinical mystery because I was brought back to life by an angel. I'm gonna be honest with you, and that's why something told me to come in here. And I know I'm not gonna convince you. This is what you do all day, but we got 97 viewers in here, so if I can just turn one person to Jesus, that's my mission.
Well, if I can turn one person away, that's my mission, because none of that's true.
Could I have your actual first name, sir, so I can pray for you tonight?
Yeah, it's Jesse.
All right. It was nice conversating with you. God bless. Have a good rest of your day.
They never want to address the Bible. They know they'll lose. And the ones who do address the Bible insist on only addressing the one verse that they see fit. And if you ask anything outside of that one verse, we're getting shut down. All right. Well, let's see. X3, you there?
Yeah, hello?
Hey, what's up, man? Are you over 18?
Yeah, I am. How was your day?
Oh, I didn't say Jackson 5 in the queue there. Hey, what's up, man? Doing good. Are you a Christian too?
Yeah.
Cool, man. So what, did you have something you wanted to bring up, or you want me just to explain to you why I think this is all a big lie?
Yeah, it says right there, God is condoning of rape, murder, like genocide and infant, aside. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, what makes you think that?
Well, it says it.
Okay. But is there like a specific specific story or verse?
On which one are you talking about? The cruel part, the slavery? Which one?
Yeah, just like the bottom. Let's go with the slavery. Yeah.
Okay. Well, slavery is allowed in Exodus 21 and Leviticus 25, Deuteronomy 20:21, Deuteronomy 15. I mean, this is littered in here. So would your position be that God does not allow slavery?
No, I mean, I believe that.
So he allows slavery then?
No, simply he does not condone it, but he does regulate it in the context of the world at that time.
You know what condone means, right?
What was that?
Do you know what condone means?
Yeah, he would pretty much just say it's okay, pretty much.
Yeah, he did say it's okay, so he's condoning it.
And where does he say that?
Leviticus 25, Exodus 21, Deuteronomy 15, Deuteronomy 20, and Deuteronomy 21.
Okay. And can you give me a specific passage? Like not
Yeah,
like
let's
I know you
read.
just stated them, but like can you like read one of the verses for me?
Yeah, in Leviticus 25, it says, "As for the male and female slaves whom you may have, it is from the nations around you that you may acquire male and female slaves. You may also acquire them from the aliens residing with you and from their families who are with you, who have been born into your land, and they may be your property. You may keep them as a possession after you for your children after you, for them to inherit as property. These you may treat as slaves, but as for your fellow Israelites, no one shall rule over the other with harshness." In Exodus 21, it says, "When you buy a male Hebrew slave, he shall serve 6 years, but in the 7th year he shall go out a free person without debt." Then in verse 7, it says, "When a man sells his daughter as a slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do." So not only is this allowing slavery, it says you can sell your daughter as a slave.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty fucked up.
Okay. But you said that Hebrew slave, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're talking about God's people, right?
Yeah, it's saying you can even have them as slaves, yeah.
Okay. And okay, so just one more time, can you name all of them just so I can because I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure if I can answer that right now, but if I do see you tomorrow or again, I would like to be able to answer them. So can you just name those verses so I can write them down so I can come back with an answer?
Yeah, this is Leviticus 25,
Okay,
44 through 46.
Okay, Leviticus 25, 23, 46.
44 through 46.
Okay, 44, 46. Okay.
And then Exodus 21, verse 1 goes all the way through 11 or 12. And that's dealing with Israelite slaves.
Okay. Is there another one?
Just worry about those two for now.
Okay.
Then we can move on with the other ones.
Okay, thank you.
What exactly do you need to answer about them?
Well, just like really get an understanding of those verses and, try to give like a presentable argument for that. Just like with all the context, the Hebrew translations, I want to study that more. That's something that I want to do. It's just something I become really
that's
interested
cool.
in.
I was just curious what you was going to answer. Like if he was going to say it's not actual slavery or what, like because it's clearly slavery. So I was trying to understand what you was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this doesn't bother you that God's allowing slavery?
That He's allowing slavery?
Yeah.
Well, I do not have an understanding, like a full understanding yet of that, but I know that when I do, I can come back with a full answer and, just be just in my answer and have like confidence in my answer. So as of now, knowing all that, I'll say, I don't think that slavery is good, obviously, so me as a person, I can say, that's not right. But I will have to read those contexts and passages in order to give a full answer,
Oh, cool. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Do you, okay, I just wanted to share something. Do you believe that Jesus was God, as a Christian, right?
I don't even believe in God, but I certainly don't think Jesus was God.
Okay. And may I ask how come, like, why do you think that? Is it because, like, I saw you
Why do I
debating
think Jesus wasn't God, or why I don't believe in God?
Oh, yeah, why do you not think Jesus was God? Because I saw you were debating with that other guy, like about the Isaiah and those prophecies.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jesus wasn't God because he doesn't even know stuff. Like, you can't be God if you don't know your own doctrine and scripture, for one thing. But he had a completely separate will than God. Like, he begs God to remove this burden from him. And God's like, no. So, I mean, he clearly has a separate will than God. You can't be the same being and have two completely different separate wills. But Jesus even says stuff like in John, he says, I go to my God and your God. So Jesus is saying he has a God. He's not saying I am God. He's saying he has a God. So, but
Okay.
logically, it doesn't make any sense either.
Okay. Do you understand the Trinity? The Holy Trinity?
Yeah. Well, I
Okay.
know what the doctrine is, but you can't understand something that's completely incoherent.
Okay. Well, basically, us as humans are made up of mind, matter, and spirit, right? In the same way that applies to God. You know, the Holy Spirit is not the Father is not the Son, but they are all one God, right? And Jesus was a spirit that pre-existed, you know, his human form, and they have always been. They are eternal. But he just took on the form of a man, and when he's crying out to God, even I've heard Muslims say this, you know, he's crying out to God, you know, why have you forsaken me? Um, they say, you know, he cannot be God because why is he calling out to God to save him? The same way in the Garden of Gethsemane when he's saying, you know, let this cup pass from me, right? But that
Yeah.
I believe that to be his human nature calling out, not his divine nature.
Yeah, but he's
And
calling out to himself with his own nature. So it doesn't make sense that his nature is completely different from his nature.
okay. And I believe that, you know, that was his human nature, you know, because he's in the form of a man during this time, right? He has not yet ascended up to heaven in the spiritual realm. So right now he's on the earthly realm in the form of a man. And so he has that will.
Yeah, but if Jesus was before Abraham and God, Jesus should have already knew all this stuff.
Yeah, he knows all this stuff. And that's
No, he
why
didn't know it all. Clearly.
he even tells God, you know, but let thy will be done, not mine.
Exactly.
hmm
How could Jesus possibly existed before Abraham and then all this stuff's a mystery to him?
No, it's not a mystery. You see, Jesus knew what he had been
It is a
called to
mystery.
do.
He's begging God not to do it to him. If he already knew the plan, why would he ask God not to do it?
Well, I'll put it like this. If you were on trial for death row, or you were on death row in general, and you know what is gonna come, but one day you pray, you know, please don't let this happen. Please, God, don't let this happen to me. But
No, my
you know
plan
that it
is
will
for
happen.
me to go to my death, but I'm asking myself to remove this burden from myself. And that makes sense to you?
Well, what I believe that would not logically apply in that scenario is, okay, let's say you don't
No.
pray. Oh no, let's say you don't pray, okay? What you do instead is, you know, you just mourn basically, and you, before your time of death, you know that it is coming, but yet you still seek a way out. You know, you still seek back then where you lived a life where you weren't incarcerated yet on death row. And wouldn't that make sense to you? So,
Not
with
if I was God, no.
okay. Well, I would also like to share something else that I believe well, just share in general. Um so I believe that, you know, God has a plan, well, had a plan for salvation since the beginning, right?
It couldn't have been from the beginning because they thought stuff was going to go find in the garden, right?
Yeah, but during the time that the book of Genesis was
Right.
written,
So, I mean,
right?
if he thought it was going to go fine, but it didn't, he didn't have that plan to start with. He came up with it after the fact to fix another problem.
Okay, but I'm referring to the book of Genesis in the beginning, you know. So after the fact of all that happened. So basically what I'm saying is in the beginning, you know, it starts off with all that, you know, God created the earth, you know, all this and that. But in Hebrew the words in the beginning translate to Bereshit, which you know, obviously you can make multiple words. There's many translations of words in Hebrew, right? But what many
Sometimes.
people may not understand is a lot of those words, while they may not be connected, they may mean different things. They're all still connected symbolically, you know. So with that being said, with that just being stated, we get the words Bereshit, right? In the beginning, that translates to it, and you can get the word bet, which means tent. You can get resh, which means head, sheaf. You can get aleph, which means Adonai, God or Yahweh. You can get shin, which means to destroy. You can get yod, which means hand, right? And you
Did you say
combine.
sheen?
Yes,
That's a letter.
yes, yes. The complete. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's pretty much what I meant. You know, like, well,
Huh.
what I'm trying to say is they still translate to that. Even if it's a word, not a letter, they still translate to that. But you know, shin means to destroy. Yod means hand, and you can combine some of these letters, right? You can combine.
So the letters that make the sh sound also mean a word that means destroy.
Yes, shin. This,
What do you think about that, Dr. Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to run into difficulty trying to assign meaning to individual letters in lexemes when you just move on to the next 2 or 3 or 10 words, right? Because if you're going to say that, you know, resh combined with aleph here has the meaning of X in this particular word, then you've got to figure out how that's true the 843,000 times that happens elsewhere, right? And make that same argument or show the symmetry
that it
breaker
can be.
why it shouldn't be the case.
Okay. Well, you know, even if this can be disproven, I would just like to get this point out there. You know, just pretty much just make this statement, even if it's wrong to you guys. I just want to make it because you know it's just something that I find interesting. You know, so with that being said, even if this is all wrong, I just want to say that this is what I found from my studying. If it's not correct yet, then I still have to go on and study. But from my understanding so far, you know, if you combine Beth and Resh, you get the word bar, which translates to sun. There's Tav, which translates to cross or
Right,
covenant.
but wait. Bar is Aramaic.
Mm-hmm.
So in a Hebrew text, you're trying to assign an Aramaic meaning.
What happened? Sorry.
So the word bar, that's Aramaic for sun. In Hebrew, the word for sun is bane.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So in a Hebrew text, you're trying to say that we should read an Aramaic word.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know it was Aramaic, but still, my point still stands.
But does it?
No, it don't.
Like,
You're using a different language.
like
But
if I were to say, like, you know, the word
it's just
Ya'ash.
the.
Just wait. If I were to say like the word Ya'ash, you know, that translates to Josh in English, right? You'd be like, wait, hold on, this is a Hebrew text. Like you know, you can't read this English word into that. Like it doesn't work that way. You would understand that. So I don't understand why it's unclear for Aramaic.
Okay, but the word bara itself is translated from barar, which is Hebrew.
Sorry, which word?
Barar.
Barar.
Yeah, barar.
Which means what?
Well, it's derived from barar, but barar itself, you know, can refer to purify or, you know, to choose.
Can you show me that? Because the word for choose in Hebrew is bachar.
Well, yeah, I can. It's a Hebrew verb found in the Old Testament, and it means to
Where?
purify, select,
Where?
cleanse, and to cleanse.
Are you just chat GPTing this shit?
What?
Are you just chat GPTing this shit?
No, it's in Psalm 18:26.
Okay, so read me the context.
With the pure thou wilt show thyself pure, and with the fraudulent thou wilt show thyself unsavory.
Okay, so show me how barar there connects to bar, the Aramaic word for sun.
Well, like I said, it's just derived from the root word.
Yeah, show me that etymologically. Can you make that argument? Can you show me from Hollot or from Hofstadter and Jungling, or like show me the common Semitic cognate?
The Semitic comment.
Yeah, you're just saying that because Beit and Resh are together, that means that those two things have to be related, or that they are related. And I'm saying I call bullshit. Like, show me that.
What do you want me to show you?
If I were to say the word Joshua, I don't know why I keep using my name, but the word Joshua, uh, um, man, now I can't. Yeah, like Joshua, it was shoe. The word, like the sound shoe is in the word Joshua. Therefore, shoes and my name are etymologically related. Shoe is derived from Joshua. You'd be like, the fuck? Right?
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
so. Yeah.
Okay.
You weren't about to agree with him, was you?
Who, me?
See, that would be
Yeah.
hilarious if somehow that actually were the case, right? That would be really fucking funny. Like, actually, Josh, shoes do come from the word Joshua. Anyway, I'm sure
It
that's
sounded
not
like
true.
you thought about it for a second. Anyway, X3, he's a Hebrew Bible scholar,
Mm-hmm.
He literally writes books on Hebrew. I have one right here.
Well, that's nice to know.
Yeah.
It's not that impressive, X3. He's making it sound better than it is.
Oh, okay.
It's more impressive than us. Like, I even thought about it, I was like, shoe come from Joshua? I mean, that makes sense. I was like...
I imagine that it wouldn't really be, that amusing or exciting to be doing that, but I know it's interesting,
Probably not. But he's saying you're wrong about all the stuff you said, basically.
Oh, okay. And I mean, I have no form to disagree with him, him being a Hebrew scholar and all. So, like I said,
Right.
that was just off my understanding, but I myself am not a Hebrew scholar. So, I will agree with him on that, and
Well, to be clear, just so it is clear, like I'm not saying, first of all, I'm not saying that your idea is like novel. There have obviously been people, back to antiquity that have seen, and not just in Hebrew, right? In Akkadian, for example, or in Sumerian, they make these kinds of connections all the time. They're looking for like a more esoteric understanding of an ancient text, but to them it would have been a modern text, but. So that's not novel. It's just, I don't think it's methodologically, I think you're going to have a problem when you start trying to make arguments from it more broadly, because it's going to be like, all right, well, look, if I see, like the word Rosh means head, right? Resh, Aleph, Sheen. But if I start saying, Resh here, stands for this, and Aleph stands for this, and, and then Sheen stands for this. And then then if I point out another word where those three letters are used and say, well, how does that meaning fit into this word? It's going to become difficult, I think, to hold to that.
Oh, okay. Also, just real quick, I want to point out this person in the comments saying I'm a bad faith AI scholar. I'm not using AI. I have notes on my computer, Google Docs, and even if I were to use AI, do you not think that AI pulls the sources directly from the Bible?
No, it doesn't. And I mean this honestly, be very, very cautious when you use AI to make arguments from the biblical text, just because it's my field. I've seen what that does. It's very problematic.
Well, that's good to know, and that's also why I had not really much faith in it, which is why I don't use it. Like I said, I use my Google documents that I study, I look up stuff, and I even have some note cards that I'm trying to get a better understanding of everything. But I do not rely on AI for that stuff. But
good for you.
Yeah. Well, oh wow, it's already 6:19. where I'm at. I was supposed to be in bed like 5 hours ago.
Well, Lord, we'll get you some sleep, buddy.
All right. Well, it was nice to talk to you guys. Gain some more understanding on all of this. It was good to talk with you. I'm glad to have met you guys. It was.
Yeah, back at you, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian. I hope you guys have a good day.
You too, man.
Thank you. And I'm glad
Yeah,
to
back
have
at you,
this
Holmes.
conversation. I'll see you guys later.
Take it easy, man. Well, let's try another one here. Who's next? 33. That line like crazy, huh? Hey, ID, you there?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, buddy? Are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
Cool. You're one of the Christians?
Honestly, funny story. I am, but I am kind of going through my own deconstruction of, religious psychosis myself right now. And yeah, I've been learning, like, just listening to a lot of stuff of like, and just rereading the Bible, or even just asking for stuff. I'm listening. I'm like, that's very contradictory and very like it goes against a lot of stuff that Christians want to be like, oh, don't judge people, but they're the first person to judge, and it's like God loves everybody, but you're not going to be loved if you don't do the right thing by God. And just like I saw this one thing on TikTok, and the lady said the minute that freedom or free will comes at a price, it's not free anymore. And it's true. It's like God wants us to be free, right? But we have to live accordingly, all this. And if we don't do this, then we're going to be burning for hell and all this stuff. But then look around the world right now. There's so many evils going around, and so many people are still in power. So again, does God turn a blind eye when evil act is being done, and then later on be like, you know what? I think I could punish this person now. Because again, what about the innocent kids that get hurt and stuff? Or you know what I'm saying? They had nothing to do with it.
Right. So, is that a question or?
No, I'm just agreeing with you, like your statements and everything. Like, I'm saying I was just agreeing with what you say. Like, the Bible is like
yeah.
very much mind controlling of people. And like, I do believe in a God. I'm not saying the Christian God's the right God or anything, but I do believe in like maybe a higher power of some sort. But that's just my own like comfort for me to feel like when life is too much for me, quote unquote, like out of my control, there has to be some other thing going on that, gives me some, like I said, it's just my personal like comfort. And like just when things are going bad, I can be like, I tried this. I know I did one thing bad, but I did everything else right. What's the balance between this? And
Yeah, I got you. Well, did you have any questions? I mean, we agree with all that for the
well,
most part.
okay. So my question is, what made you deconstruct Christianity and religion, and what turned you away from all that? I want to know.
Just scrutinizing it. It can't be true. Logically, historically, scientifically, none of it's any even kind of close to accurate.
Okay, that's cool. I understand that. I don't know if it's the same guy, but he mentioned. I know you guys were talking. He mentioned something about Spider-Man or Superman, and when he said that, I think that's when I wanted to jump into live, because I'm like, exactly. I can believe in Superman, and y'all would think I'm crazy, but there's proof and evidence that Superman did all these great things in this book that a man wrote. Because again, Jesus and God never wrote anything, and if that was the case, why, when Jesus was on Earth, why didn't he write anything?
Yeah, wouldn't that have been nice? Some Jesus scripture.
Directly from the Father himself to the Son for us to live and go accordingly. But yet we have to read passages from men who took pieces and put together to like, and this is what we have to go throughout time now. This is the only way to live. And it's like, wait a minute. A lot of this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, we hear you, man. It's yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, man, we don't disagree with any of that. So you're on the right track there. And as far as, just being like a deist or just thinking there's a higher power, we're totally cool with that. It's the Christians who think it's okay that their God is giving them permission to enslave people and murder babies and stuff. So we don't like those. All right, let's see. Still a couple people in the queue here. Don't know if I'm getting lagged too, so I better give this a second. Oh, there's. Dang it, we did get lagged. Rebel, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man? You're
What?
over 18?
Yes, I'm 37 actually.
Cool, and you're one of the Christians?
I'm actually ex-Christian, but I wanted to chime in and learn something.
Yeah, what you got? Real quick, just ask the question, then we really just look for more debates here. But
Okay, I'll make it quick and I can hop out 'cause I know it's probably got people waiting.
yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah,
What you got?
do you as a former Christian, I was learning about the reincarnation thing. Do you believe in the reincarnation thing with the sun trapping demiurge archon? If you heard of that before, the soul traps
Oh no,
when you die. Oh,
yeah,
okay,
I don't know
all
nothing
right.
about any of that.
All right, you might need to dive in there too. I'm not saying it's true or not, but it's definitely something to think about.
Oh, cool.
Yes, sir. I'll hop out, man, because I know you
Yeah,
probably
we'll
got people waiting. I'll be listening in the background.
Yeah, cool, man.
All right, man. Appreciate
Yeah, I
you.
don't know much about yeah, no problem. I don't know much about those topics personally. Anyway, Brett, are you there, and are you over 18, and are you a Christian?
Yeah, I'm 37, Christian.
Oh, cool, man. So what do you got something you want to bring up, or you want me to just tell you why I think you was lied to there?
Well, I was kind of listening, and I heard you say, like, essentially, it seems like you have your reasons for essentially deconstructing, but you also said you use logic.
Yeah.
I'm mostly curious, can you give an account for things like reason and logic?
Yeah,
You acknowledge they exist. I'm just curious if you know how, like, can you give an account for them?
Yeah, we made them up when we started thinking about stuff like that. Like when people figured out that what that guy over there is telling them doesn't sound right, we started coming up with concepts about how to like understand whether somebody's being honest with us or not based on words.
Okay, so you're saying that it's basically human invention?
Yeah, it's a concept we thought of.
So you're saying that humans can identify before the law of identity ever exists?
No, it was after the fact.
So then using the thing to explain the thing doesn't really work. I'm just asking how it exists. Like, how do you know reason?
But the way we have it, and I know this religion don't hold up to it.
So you're saying we just have it?
Yeah, it's good enough for me.
So like, what if I was to ask?
I don't need to know who invented a car to be able to drive. Like,
yeah. So I guess what I'm curious about is, are you saying that it just is?
As far as I know, it is. Yeah.
Okay. And so, like, you don't actually believe God's not real, right?
No, I don't think God's are real.
So you think God's not real? Like, you're atheist?
Yeah, I'm an atheist. Yeah.
Okay. So if I said God just is, I don't really have to give an account for him, right?
Well, if I say unicorns just is, do I have to give an account for them?
Right. You don't have to. According to what you've told me, you said you don't have to give account for reason or logic.
Sure.
They just are.
Well, I mean, if you want me to believe you, you'll need to give me an account because you're trying to convince me of something. But
yeah, no,
if you just think gods are fine, then yeah, just think gods are fine.
Yeah. I'm convinced that you can't be convinced, and you're probably convinced I can't be convinced. I'm just trying to understand. You don't have to give an account for reason or logic. Therefore, I don't have to give an account for God, right?
No.
You agree with that, right? It sounds like you said no,
fine.
but okay.
Yeah, but I mean, so if you want to come debate about it, we're going to need a little more than this. But
yeah, so realistically, for all the so at that point, you don't understand, or you can't give an account for these things. You use them, but you can't explain them. And you use these.
No, I can explain them. You just ask me where it comes from, and I would just say either I don't know or we made it up.
And so with that, you wouldn't know if your reason or logic are true. So when you argue against the things in the Bible, you wouldn't know if these things are true or not.
Brett, can I just ask? Are you asking him to like justify logic?
Yeah, correct. I want to know. So the thing exists. We all of us can acknowledge the thing exists.
Okay, so hang on, Brett. So it seems, and I'm not a philosopher, right? So take all of this with a grain of salt. But how would you use logic to justify logic?
Something transcendental would have to exist.
I mean, I would say that, right, you're just
undergirds our ability to use these things, right?
right. But if you're asking him to justify it, what method would he use
Well, that's
to
what I'm
justify
asking.
it? I mean, it would have to be logic, right? It would have to be logic,
but you can't use logic.
right? But
just
you
using
can't.
the thing.
Yes, I understand. So I
Right.
think what he would say is it's axiomatic.
And that's just opinion. And if it's just an invention, how do you know it actually exists? How do you know your reason and logic are actually true?
Right. You're asking him
Because they
to
work.
justify an axiom.
I guess what I'm getting at is correct, and you can't, right? You would agree?
Well, you wouldn't. That's the definition of an axiom, right?
Yeah, that's what
Correct.
we're saying.
Correct.
Your point's moot.
Very good. No, I agree. And so here's the thing. As a Christian, mine's not axiomatic. It exists above us.
Right, but I think that's something that you would have to demonstrate.
But I don't have to. It just is, right? We've
You don't have to, but you're on
The
a
point-
debate stage where we're
the
debating whether this stuff is true or not. So
correct. But the point is, you've conceded that it just is. So I guess what I'm getting at is, with that, we can move on to these points that you've got on your prompt. But the thing is you've already conceded that these things just are, which means you can't justify it being right or wrong. Therefore, when you say
You don't justify axioms. You don't, right? I mean, am I wrong about that?
That's
You don't
what-
justify axioms.
it doesn't
Correct.
matter.
So what
It's
I'm-
justified because it works. Logic has never failed once that any human knows of. So it doesn't make a difference how you can't justify something that just works in reality that we both are.
Let me
using
ask you.
right
Let me
now.
ask you. You say logic can't fail, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm saying the laws of logic.
Logically,
Yeah, as
Hitler
far as
did-
we know,
Hitler-
something illogical has never been true.
yeah. So logically, Hitler does what he does. Was he wrong? Did logic fail?
Logically,
Yeah. Did it fail?
I don't even understand what kind of link you're making there.
So logically, Hitler's following the ends of evolution, which is to create a superior race, right? Logically, he realizes, okay, we have to do eugenics, etc., to create this master race. Logically, he was doing what he thought was right. Was he wrong? Did logic
Are you
fail?
asking me, was he morally wrong or right, or was he logically wrong or right?
Was it logically wrong?
No.
So you don't think that there was anything? Okay, so here's the thing: can logic, morality, can they exist together?
Yeah, they do, but they're not the same. So that's why I don't know what you're asking.
So you would say Hitler's morally wrong, but logically right.
I don't know what logically
So-
right means. What goes against logic? What are you talking about?
So reasonably and logically, Hitler was actually correct. You say, right?
And correct in what? I don't know what you're asking me.
So the ends of evolution, right? The idea of evolution is to create a race that will survive and become superior, right?
No.
What is so then what is the ends of evolution? Maybe that's where the mess up is.
Evolution is just adaptation through reproduction. That's all it is. It's
Just changes in
allele
allele frequencies in a
What is
population
evolution?
group.
Does evolution give us truth, or is the whole purpose of evolution just to survive?
It's survival. Yeah.
Okay, so it's survival. So what is Hitler doing then that's so wrong if he's trying to create a race that will survive to the maximum?
now
Morally wrong or logically? Again, you seem to be conflating these two and asking us about our position on something that don't make any sense. I don't even know what you're asking me.
Where's the
Brett,
hold on.
no.
Where's
no,
the break?
Brett,
Where's the break
Brett,
in logic?
Brett, are you just looking to have what you think is a high level discussion of ethical philosophy?
What I want to understand is before I get to the points, I want to make sure you understand that you may list the reasons for why these things are bad in the Bible, but you can't actually say it's true.
Okay, so Brett, let me
Yeah, we
ask you a
can,
question.
because we can say God says it's bad too.
You can't. It's just
So
your
Brett,
opinion.
Brett, if let's say you were running a live and you were doing a Bible study, right, on 1 John 3 or something, and I came in and I said, Brett, you're reading this, but do you know Greek? And if you were like, well, I mean, like, no, but I have like Blue Letter Bible. And I would say, well, like, can you substantiate that the way that Blue Letter Bible is translating that is correct? And you'd be like, well, no, I don't really have the training. I would say, well, I mean, you can't even really have this conversation because you don't know Greek and you can't justify that the translation that you're using is correct. I mean, maybe at some level that's true, right? But I mean, we're making some assumptions that everybody sort of agrees on here. And I think probably if we talked about it, you would also agree with the assumptions. So this isn't really the place for the discussion. I don't think. You can correct me, Ape, if I'm wrong about this, but I don't think Ape is looking to have like I think it's, all right, we're all going to make the assumption that like grape is bad and schmurder is bad and owning people as property is bad.
Again, I like that you use that word because it's assumption. You're presupposing these things are bad. You don't actually know that they are because there is nothing to objectively tell you.
Do know.
Right. So wait.
We're not going to argue with you about why grape's bad.
So hold on. Yeah, Brett, do you know what X Greek word means?
No.
Okay, so then I would say, so what you're saying is, when I do my Bible study, I'm assuming that the translators are translating these Greek words and phrases correctly, right?
Yep.
Are you justified in that assumption?
I'd assume that the words have an objective meaning, correct?
I mean, I don't think words have objective meanings, but are you just... Yeah, so just listen to me. Like, I think you understand my question well. Are you justified in reading an English translation and saying that is an accurate representation for this discussion to talk about, what this verse means?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Then that's what we're talking about here. And I agree with you, right? I think it would be ridiculous for me to come in and say, you don't know Greek, you can't substantiate, whatever this Greek word means and its etymology, blah, blah, blah. And therefore you can't have this conversation and it be meaningful.
What I'm trying to demonstrate is if you can't give an account for these things, how do I know you're right? Let me do this. I'm coming from a position
because we can agree. We can agree we're right. That's how.
So consensus.
Between Brett, us in this conversation, yes.
Yeah, Brett, do you think that Schmurder is wrong?
Okay, can I explain something? Let me do this. I am essentially, for the sake of this discussion, I am granting the position that God is not real. Okay?
I'm asking you a very direct question, Brett. Brett, no, I want you to answer my question.
Let me finish.
Do you think that Schmurder is wrong? No, Brett. Answer my question. Do you think that Schmurder is wrong?
I believe it's absolutely wrong.
Great. Do you think that grape? Do you think that Brett? Do you think that grape is wrong?
Absolutely.
Do you think that owning other people as property is wrong?
Absolutely.
Great. We can have this conversation then.
Now, here's the thing.
Yeah, we agree on all that. What do you know?
Hold on. Do you agree those are absolutely wrong? This is where it gets fun. Do you agree those are absolutely wrong?
Sorry, is that question for me?
Oh, you asking me? Yeah,
either one of you. Either of you guys agree those things are absolutely wrong?
I don't know what you mean by absolutely.
Yeah.
So why did you, when I said that's absolutely wrong, you said, great, now we can have this discussion.
Yeah, I didn't add the word absolutely, did. You did.
I did,
right?
And you agreed.
Yeah,
that was great.
No. I said, do you think that Schmurder is wrong?
So let's clarify it. Is there any situation where it's good?
Are you now trying to go back to having a discussion of ethical philosophy? Brett, I want you to answer my question. Are you trying to go back to you saying hold on repeatedly won't work?
I asked you a question.
So
I asked you a question.
Are you trying to take this back? That's great. Stop being a petulant child. Yeah, stop being a petulant child. If you're trying to take this back to a philosophical discussion about ethics, that's not what this room is for.
Now, hang on. you asked me morality questions, right? Did you not?
No.
I did.
Joshua, you asked me questions. I am asking you now. You understand my position. I'm trying to understand yours.
Great. If you're
Why is
going
that
to
unfair?
ask me, do I think
Is that
that
unfair?
murder, then ask me the same questions back, Brett.
Is all three, you listed 3 things, correct?
Yep.
Is there any situation where those things are good?
Did I ask you that question, Brett?
Just answer the question, Josh.
I'm going to answer the questions that I asked you.
I've
so
answered
you
your
can
question
know what my
honestly.
position is. Yeah, so that you know what my position is. I am going to say murder is wrong. Grape is wrong. Owning people as property is wrong. We all agree now.
Again, is it absolutely or just relatively? Is it
See,
subjective?
now
or
you're
objective?
trying to take it into some sort of deeper
We have
discussion
to.
of ethical.
All you
No,
give
we
me is your
don't.
opinion.
Okay, if
All
that's
you
the
give me is your
case,
opinion.
okay, listen, Brett. If that's the case, I'll take it back to the analogy about you having your Bible study, right? If like, let's say we're here in Genesis 1:1, right? And you say God created. And I
This
come
is
in
like
and say,
pulling
whoa,
teeth,
whoa,
Josh.
whoa, wait a second. How do you know that bara means to create? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you go, I mean, it's what it says here in the lexicon. I don't like that's what
I
it
don't
I
know
don't
why
know
you're
Hebrew, that's what it
running
says.
from this.
And I say,
It's a simple
whoa,
question.
I'm not running from it. I've already told
you
you
are.
we're not going
Yes,
okay.
you are.
I don't know if you understand what running means. I'm saying that's not what we're going to talk about. First of all, I am ill-equipped.
Joshua, I'm disappointed in you.
Listen to that's great. You can be disappointed in me. I am not
Disappointed.
formally yeah, that's great. I am not formally trained in ethical philosophy. Okay. If you want to have that conversation, you should go find a philosopher of ethics. That's not my field of expertise. That's why this stage doesn't say, can we ground morality or, you know, something like that, right? This is a Darth Dawkins move, what you're doing here. This is
cowardly as hell.
yeah, and what it does, Brett, what it does is it keeps you from engaging with us about the text. So if anybody's running, you're coming up on this stage failing to engage with the actual prompts because it requires you dealing with the text. Yeah. It's not a simple question. It's actually a very complex question.
It absolutely is so easy.
You're asking me, no, it's not easy. You're asking me, can I substantiate something like subjective or objective morality? I know fuck all about that topic.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Josh. You asked me the questions, and I answered yours no problem. And you just went on this whole tangent because all I did was ask you one question. Is morality subjective or objectively true?
I have no idea.
That's not what you asked.
I have no idea.
So you have, okay, cool. So you have no idea if there's a situation where it would be good. You're not saying there isn't, but you aren't saying there is, right?
You're asking me a question that has a lot of ethical and philosophical background to it, right? That I don't know. Simple, I'm not trained. It's not very simple. That's why it's part of the whole field.
Let me just give you a hypothetical. Let me give you a hypothetical. Okay? And Ape already had mentioned that everyone agrees on something, therefore true.
That's not what he said.
That's
not what he said.
Okay. So
that's not what he said.
Okay. So let me do this. There's 20 people in the world, right? You say slavery is wrong.
Bro, we are not, listen, no, just stop.
Just let me do the hypothetical.
We are done talking about epistemic grounding, epistemical masculations for morals here. That's not what this is about. We're not interested.
To the text, Brett. To the text,
cowardly. Nope.
If you guys can't get...
Brett, I'll give you one chance. Are we going to talk about the text, or are you going to stick on this tired-ass cowardly talking point?
If you guys can't get past this, then you'll never be able to
Okay, well, drop yourself if you're not willing to talk about the text, and we're going to move on to some other
way. Dude. You run from it. I don't care.
Dude, drop yourself if you're not willing to talk about it.
You can run.
That's why I'm not kicking
you.
It's just so strange to me that people that are these apologists, like they come up on a stage. You come up on a stage. Yeah, it's definitely not. You come up on this stage that say things like, it promotes evil under a guise of good, right? It is clear that this is all about the text. It's about the text.
Until
And it's the
I
last thing you want to talk about. Why
until
is
I
that?
can understand. Before I get
Yes or
into
no? Are you
anything in
going to
the
talk about
Bible,
the
we have
text
to
or
lay
not?
a
Yes or
foundation.
no?
Do
That's
we
all
not?
you. Yes,
Brett,
yes
if
or
that's the
no.
case, sorry.
Oh, you're. I'm just saying yes or no. We're going to talk about the actual topic here or not? Just yes or no, Brett. That's all you need to say.
A foundation has to be laid before I go.
We'll take that as a
what is
no.
technically wrong.
We'll take that. We'll take that as a no.
Yeah, I mean, like that's why this is so strange to me. Like, if I said, there is no account in Genesis 1 of God creating anything, right? Or there's no mention of like the sea or something or earth in Genesis 1. And Brett were to come in here and say, look, it says like right here in Genesis 1 that God creates, or he creates the earth right here. And I say, whoa. Like, do you know where Hebrew comes from? Like, do you know why language exists? He'd be like, what? Like,
Yeah.
like, okay, that's a conversation worth having, just not here. Cause that's not what, like, there are some assumptions that are, we're all coming to the table with to have this discussion. And instead of just saying, given all those assumptions, yes, the text says right here that God created, by the way, all things that I agree with, right? Which is why this is so strange that if the point here is that the biblical texts endorse slavery, or the biblical texts endorse a woman having to marry her rapist or something like that, to come in and to say, well, wait a second, like, how do you know the etymological derivation of the Hebrew word for woman? Well, if you can't give me that, where it comes from, we have to lay a foundation for even what the word woman means here. Like, that's just disingenuous, in my opinion.
Yeah. Not to mention, it just makes somebody look 10 times worse when you come and argue that something is objectively wrong. Then we point out that your God does that, and then you proceed to tell us why it's subjectively right at that point. I mean, it's beyond ludicrous.
Just so it's clear, and I'm going to have to drop here because I got to get back inside. But like,
oh, you're good.
So that it's abundantly clear to everybody, philosophy is like not my thing. So in fact, I remember we went down to give a presentation at University of Texas, Austin, at their to their Hebrew grad students, and Natan Manpat El had us over to have dinner, and her husband is a philosopher. And I remember sitting with him going, I told him I had this conversation with a guy. I was talking about Darth Dawkins. I had this conversation with a guy for like an hour and a half. And I told him all the things that he was asking me, like, well, how can you ground X, Y, and Z, or, and I said, look, I don't, you talking to her husband, like you deal with this stuff every day, these finer points of philosophy, and it's just not my field. And he was like, yeah, that seems odd to come at that from that angle if the discussion is, surrounding the text. It just seems like a way to not engage on the text. So like, that's why I say, if somebody comes to me and says, well, look here in, I don't know, this New Testament book or something, I'm going to say, look, I got a list of 15 New Testament scholars you can go talk to about that. That's not me running from it. That's me. I mean, sure, if that's what you want to say, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. But it's me recognizing my own area of specialization and saying, yeah, I'm okay with saying grape is wrong, and I can't ground that ultimately. I'll sleep fine at night with that, right? I'll sleep fine with that. Because I trust that there are people that do ethical philosophy that could give whatever justification or argument for that. Like I trust that those people exist, right? No, I don't
They
worry a
don't
lot
accept
about
those
that.
arguments. You can say because it causes harm, and they'll just be like, "Why is harm bad?" Like it's just dumb as fuck. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And the thing is they all agree that it's wrong. So it's just to me it just seems like a dodge to not have to deal with the text. But anyway,
I call
I'm
it the
gonna
drag race argument because, like, say the argument is I've got a car and you've got a car, and
mhm.
we want to see which one's fastest, right? So instead of just getting in their damn car and racing you the day before the race, they go to the courthouse and try to have your license revoked. That's how they tried to win.
That's awesome. That is a great analogy. That is a great
Thank you.
analogy.
I thought it was too. Yeah, I thought of that
Yeah,
myself.
that's
That's
awesome. That's
ape
awesome.
original there. I just
Very
call it
nice.
drag racing. So you try to drag race me, and they're like, "What?" Nobody
Very
knows what it
nice.
is yet.
Very
We'll
nice.
have to spread it around.
Yeah, that's right. That's our mission now. All right. I will
Yes,
get out
the
of your
drag
hair, man.
race.
Thank you. Thank you for having me
Have
on.
a have a good one, Dr. Josh.
All right, you too. I'll let you drop me down, man.
Oh yeah, let's forget about that. That is our best friend, the brilliant Dr. Josh there. And don't forget, April 25th is a Saturday, and at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, you can sign up for a free Learn Hebrew webinar. And check it out. See if you like it. Don't cost anything. Hang out with Dr. Josh and Megan and see if you like the vibe. If you feel like you can learn something, great. You can sign up for an 11-week course for cheap as shit, in my opinion. I guess it depends on what you consider cheap, but I thought it was really cheap. But 11 freaking weeks. And anyway, you can do the seminar, see how you like it. If you don't feel it, you don't feel it. If you do, sign up. That is the brilliant Dr. Josh and Megan. Anyway, let's see. Nobody in the queue, but I've only got like maybe 15 or 20 minutes tops left to be on today, but I mean, that's enough time to have a quick argument. But yeah, I actually thought of that really hard, like tried to come up with a good analogy for I ended up on the drag race thing where they tried to have your license revoked, but I thought that was pretty clever personally. Makes pretty good, I think. Anyway, I call it drag racing, or avoiding the drag race technically, but drag racing's a little quicker. Plus, if you know what you're talking about, it's the argument's pretty clear anyway. Anyway. All right. I tell you what, if you're a Christian and you want to talk to us, come on up. I've still got a minute so we can have a discussion. Hey, I'm cool if y'all are cool, man. I'm cool sometimes either way, but some people just piss me off. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen. Anyway, prefer it don't. Right. Well, all right, let's see here. Yes, I agree, Barry Bear. Yeah, I'm almost never argue. Actually, I never argue if God actually exists or not. Like, that's not why we're here. We're just saying he might or might not exist. If he does exist, this book has some horrible things to say about him. Well, the book tries to make it sound good, but it's definitely horrible. Anyway, if you are a Christian, come on up. I still got like a good 20 minutes, so we can talk about something. We can cover at least a couple of these topics. I can show you why Jesus fails prophecy, why he makes false prophecy himself, why he has bad morals, why he's not a Messiah, why a whole lot of stuff actually. Oh, I think that was an accident. Sorry. Some kind of tiny bug that keeps hitting me in my fucking face, man. It's driving me crazy. Oh, you were serious? I thought that was an accident, Jerry. My bad. I thought I saw you like request up and then go away a couple times. I thought you was on an accident zone here. Hey, Jerry.
Hey,
What's up?
Not much.
I do a better
I'm gonna
speaking
go.
voice than you.
That was very interesting. I love those weird conversations, even though they're frustrating, because it really does make you think about all that stuff. But yesterday, I was listening to a guy that um, was on a live. It wasn't your, it was same kind of platform, and he was using God and to get sober. He was saying that he had gone to therapy and he really leaned on God to get sober. And I don't, you wouldn't want to take something like that away from somebody, right? But the thought occurred to me that that's just using God without holding him accountable. And then I thought, and then, a lot of times they talk about rescue mentality in therapy because people they rescue other people and it just enables them. And, you just go down you could just imagine how bad that can be. So it's not just using God, it's rescuing God without holding him accountable for all the things he's done.
That's very true. I haven't thought about that.
So just believing in something and saying that helped you get to where you are now is basically you're just enabling yourself to use other teachings. Like you're in a spiral of you see what I mean? You're just in a spiral of the things that you learn in therapy not to do. You don't want to rescue. You don't want to you don't want to defend things that are wrong. You don't want to enable people. And so anyway, I don't know. I just got into that long thought process yesterday and I was like, wow, it is kind of like you're rescuing God because you're not holding him accountable. I have personal.
And actually,
yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say, this don't even come up much, but I actually have a pretty harsh stance against faith-based sobriety tactics and stuff like that. Like, I think it's far more dangerous than it actually is helpful in the long run. Like, for the 5% who actually, like, make it through one of those programs and stay sober, the other 95% probably got something to say about that. So. But it's bad enough. Like, I mean, life is hard enough and complicated enough without adding that the supreme creator of the universe is pissed off at you at the same time. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Because
it's hard enough to get over addiction and stuff like that. Exactly. So when you add on top of it that, hey, now you have Jesus. If you fail again, you haven't just reverted to the problems you were in before. Now you have an entirely new set of problems on top of that.
Right, that cause other mental problems. This almighty
creator is now disappointed in you as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and they cause. And why would you want something in your life that's going to cause more mental problems? So being gullible and delusional about these things that have absolutely no evidence whatsoever.
Not to mention it's desperation. Like, it's preying on the desperate, literally. Like, people obviously make bad decisions when they're desperate. You will accept something horrible just to get out of something that's slightly more horrible than the thing you're accepting. You know what I mean? Like, where's all these happy, successful people that's coming to God in droves? Like, they don't exist. Like, it's desperate people at rock bottom who accepts this stuff for the most part. And it doesn't say much for the religion.
But the goal is that they're the goal is, here's the target. They're trying to reach that goal and they're grasping at anything they can to get them to reach that goal, which I think you already kind of talked about because even if you're grasping at things and ways of belief that are completely way out there and delusional. They think they're successful because they reached their goal. They got 90 days sober or
And if
something.
that helps, like, more power to you, but I don't think we need it. Like, I mean, people know they're doing bad already. Like, the whole reason they want to change is because they know they're doing something bad, you know, or not even necessarily bad. They're just doing something they don't want to. Like, you know, it's having a negative impact on you. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to be told that by a supreme creator. You already know that. Like, that's what
Exactly.
you're doing there.
I took a Love and
So,
Logic workshop, and they were talking about how when you put your child in timeout, you say, go to your room, you know, because they're acting up or whatever. And, you know, the concept behind Love and Logic is that, you know, you're not using like lecturing and shame and yelling and stuff like that. You're actually using your brain to help these kids learn. And so they said when your child comes out of the room and they're calmed down and they're not doing that behavior anymore, the worst thing you can do is say, so you know why you had to go to your room, and like rehash it with them. And I was like, why is that bad? I thought that was good. You should talk to them about it. And they said, absolutely not. Their brain already knows it was bad. That's just shaming them. It actually makes them feel shame. So that is one of the things that, I don't know. It just blew my mind. I could not. Once I realized it, I was like, yeah, I can see it now. But before, I just thought, just rehash it, re-rub it in. Look what you did was wrong. You know what I'm saying? And so, I don't know. I think as adults, we don't need to feel more shame, and that's what religion does, is it brings shame and condemnation, not unconditional love. It brings conditional love, and that's what causes the mental illness.
well, I mean, just that. And I mean, realistically, I think it just comes down to basing decisions on like bad reasons. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, if you're making up problems, addressing problems that ain't there, trying to fix a problem with a bad solution, like, none of this is good stuff. None of it. It's going to come out negative nearly every time unless you just get lucky. I mean,
just love one another.
Be good for goodness sakes. How about that?
Yeah.
Do some critical thinking. Let's address actual problems with actual solutions and not make up problems like somebody's demon possessed is causing their mental illness or something. Like, it's not going to help anybody.
Yeah. How about they haven't eaten in 3 days or slept in a week?
Right. I know another content, I ain't going to say no names, but I know another content creator. The dude's an ass. And I don't really care for his thing personally, but I get why he's like that. Like, I understand. Like, his family tried to do multiple exorcisms on him because he had Tourette's. Like,
oh, no.
Like, of course the dude's pissed. Like, of course he's pissed.
Oh,
like, my goodness.
Oh, that's horrifying. That makes me want to cry.
I know. That's why I'm saying, like, I get it. Like, I understand his frustration for sure.
Oh my gosh, it just brought tears to my eyes. That's horrible.
It is
Let's
horrible.
talk about our favorite ice cream now.
I like Jesus ice cream. Jesus flavored with pecans. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna try.
Go ahead.
We got somebody in the queue here. My bad. We had somebody pop up in the queue. I'm gonna bring up real quick because I still do got like almost 15 minutes, but we'll see what happens real quick. I think it says. What does that say, Gavin? I think it says Gavin.
It does. But why call God evil?
Gavin, you're there.
Why call God evil if, in your view, He doesn't exist? Like, why does it matter?
According to the book, He's evil.
Well, why does that matter? You're an atheist. You don't believe in God.
Book.
But you don't believe in that book.
Didn't say I did.
Yeah, you're an atheist. So why call it evil if it doesn't exist? It can't be good or evil if morality is just
evil
subjective.
in the book. What the book says He does is evil.
Yeah, but if morality is subjective, then you can't say it's good or bad.
No, I can.
Not objectively.
Bad. See, I did it.
Not objectively.
There's no such thing as objectively bad. You want me to
Yeah,
prove
so
it?
then you can't say it's evil.
Yeah, you want me to prove it?
You can't objectively say it's evil, and also you don't
You
even
want me to,
believe it
you want,
exists.
you want me to prove it, or you want me to prove it or not?
Well, you can prove it, but you would just be proving Christianity right,
So
because you
like,
can't
just for
really.
example,
It's really
is it
difficult
objectively
to
wrong?
judge a.
Okay,
It's
is it
really
objectively wrong? Okay, hold on. Is it objectively wrong to murder innocent babies?
for humans too, yes, but God has the ultimate authority over all
So
life.
subjectively it's for
created it.
humans, but objectively for humans.
If you
subjectively
if
for
you want
God,
me to
though.
come from a Christian perspective, or do you want me to come from a secular perspective? Because if it
I
comes
would
from a
prefer you
secular,
come from a logical perspective.
yeah, okay. So if you want to come from a
Yeah, so if
secular
something's
perspective, then
objectively wrong,
if you're
it's
an atheist,
objectively
why do you
wrong
care
no
about
matter
what the
who
Bible
does it.
says? I'm not even
Because a
trying
bunch
to
of
prove
people
you
do
wrong.
care about it. If
Why
look,
does
if you're
that
gonna
bother
ask
you?
for something, shut the fuck. If you're gonna ask me something, let me fucking answer. Jesus Christ. Okay, it's wrong because it's wrong.
Oh, really?
Subjectively or objectively. Here's this motherfucker interrupting me again.
My bad.
Listen, okay, you do believe it. So there's a whole bunch
I
of
never
people
said I
in the
did.
country I live in that. Are you a Christian or not?
Why does that matter? I'm just asking you. Why do
Because we
you say
debate
God is
Christians
evil if
in
in your
here.
view
If
he
you're
doesn't
not a
exist?
Christian, I'm not interested in arguing with you about Christianity.
Well, how can you say God is evil if you don't believe he exists?
Are you a Christian? Yes or no?
I am, but you
Okay,
don't.
so
You're not.
I'm
So
saying
how
he's
can you say that
evil
he's evil
because
if you
the
don't
book
believe he
says he's
exists?
evil. I'm trying to tell you if you will shut up.
Okay.
Because the book says he is, and you believe the book. Whether he actually exists or not is
Well,
irrelevant
actually,
to the
no.
point
John
that he's evil,
3:16 says that
because
he
he's
so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever so believeth in him shall not perish but have eternal life. I think that describes an all-loving God, not a evil God.
Oh,
So
okay.
the
Well,
book
is it
actually
evil to bash
describes
babies' brain? Is it
describes him
evil
as a
to?
love.
Is it evil? Is it evil to have innocent babies' brains bashed out?
Yeah, if you're talking about the psalm where it's a lament of the other nations doing that, that's not God doing that. That's other nations. I know
Not what
what
I'm
you're
talking
literally
about.
speaking
And
about.
not what it's not what I'm talking about. So
What
you don't know
what verse?
what I'm speaking
Tell me the
about.
verse.
2 Samuel 12. How about that one?
Samuel. I actually really like that book.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Let's see if you're actually getting a verse that's in context and you're not just pulling it out of
Yeah, it
context.
is. He unalives David and Bathsheba's son.
Oh, you mean that descriptive text talking about someone doing an evil act that is condemned by God and not
It's
God
not
himself
someone,
doing it?
it's God, and God is the one who
David.
strikes this child down after making it sick for a
Oh,
week.
wait, tell me the verse again. Maybe you talk about
2
something else.
Samuel chapter 12, verse 15. Yeah, tell us who does this. It's so hilarious. They come up here and argue something's objectively wrong and then say it's objectively right when God does it. That's freaking hilarious. It's not
On the
hilarious.
seventh
It's
day the
pathetic,
child died,
but
and the
it's
parents
still
of
funny.
David
What
were
else can
afraid
you
to tell
do?
him that the child was dead. What is the context of the
That's not
verse?
verse
What's the context of the
verse
verse?
15.
15?
Verse 15.
Oh, it talks about the child dying. No one killed him. No one killed the child. It just simply talks about like a miscarriage.
No, it doesn't. It
Okay,
says
then
the
read what's the
Lord struck
context of
the
the verse? What
child.
does it actually say? Mr. Atheist who knows everything about the Bible. Mr. Atheist who knows
Yeah,
everything
here, I'll
about
read it.
Christianity, who isn't even a
Wow,
Christian.
just listen for a second.
Yeah, here,
I'm
I'll read
listening.
it to you if you'll shut up for a second. It says, the Lord struck the child whom Uriah's wife bore to David, and it became very ill. It dies 7 days later.
Yeah, 2 Samuel 12:15 says, Then Nathan went to his house, and the Lord afflicted the child that Uriah's wife bore to David, and he became sick.
Yep,
Well,
that's what I
actually, I
just
have a
said.
question. Why exactly is that problematic if God is the author of life and therefore having authority to take it? Why
Because
exactly
this
is...
baby didn't have anything to do with the crime that it's being executed for.
Prove it.
What did the baby do?
Prove that he wouldn't have done it. if an all-knowing God can know the future and know
The
exactly what
baby
that
didn't
baby
do
can do,
anything. This is about David committing adultery with Bathsheba. The baby had nothing to do with it. Obviously, a baby didn't commit adultery.
yeah, I
Baby
never
was
said the baby
innocent.
committed adultery, but the baby was born in a
Okay,
sinful
so
act,
what?
therefore it would live in a sinful life. God knows that. An all-knowing
Oh,
God
okay.
would know
So
that.
you're fine with
You
babies
probably
dying
were
if they're born
too.
of illicit unions.
Oh no, I never said that. If God has the authority and he's the
Oh.
writer of life, then he obviously has the authority to take it.
So if you don't think the reason that this child is being executed is wrong, then what makes God okay when he does it?
Well, no, the actual like biblical definition of murder like talks about a way that humans do it to one another. Humans don't have that kind of execute authority to take life. God being superseded
So what
above
made it right
humans.
when God did
Let me
it?
finish.
So what makes it
Let me
okay?
finish. Humans being
I will.
God being above human authority and the writer of life in the entire universe, he literally has authority to just destroy everything if he wanted to. He is the writer of life. He created life.
Okay, well, what would
He
make
created
that
everything.
right?
Yeah, it doesn't make it right or wrong. God can make it right because he made right and wrong.
So you're
He
just
knows what
morally
right and wrong
bankrupt.
is. He
There's
created it.
no application you can apply
Well,
to
if
God.
morality is objective, and if morality
It's
is
not
objective,
objective. You
well,
just proved
under
it. You've already
Christianity,
proved
if
it's not.
under Christianity, if you believe in a God, morality would be objective from a God.
It's definitely not because y'all
Okay.
refuse to apply it to your God.
Well, no, I actually don't go by like in my own life as a
No, you're
Christian. I
saying
don't
the
go.
act of this is objectively wrong, and then
No,
you
I
say
never said
God
it was
does it, but it's
objectively wrong.
objectively right somehow.
I never
You
said it was
did.
objectively wrong. I actually
Oh,
said
okay.
that it's justified because
So it's
God,
not
being the writer of
objectively.
life, he has the
I
authority to
asked you
take
if it
it.
was objective. Nope. I asked you if it was objectively wrong to murder innocent babies, and you said yes.
No, I never said that.
Oh, okay. So you don't
I
have
never said that.
objective morals.
Yeah,
then.
so if a human ends the life of a child objectively, that would be wrong because humans don't have that kind of authority. But God, being the writer of
So
life, he
what
can
makes
take
it
it.
suddenly okay?
Yeah, because God
So
created
so God
everything.
can
He
murder
created life. He
arbitrarily,
created
and
life.
that's
He
okay.
sustains it. He has execute authority to take it. If you
Okay, so you
understand
couldn't
that.
even tell us if God was doing something evil or not, could you?
Yeah, no, God cannot do evil because that's exactly how he's described in scripture.
So if God does something we know is evil, that you can't hold God to that standard.
Well, how do we know what's good and what's evil without God in an objective standpoint? We can just say, well, I think God is evil because of what I think.
There's no. That's what I've said repeatedly. There's no objective here.
Well, if
You're
God is
saying it's
real, if
objective.
God
I'm
is
saying it's
real,
not. I
if
proved you
if
wrong.
God is real, then there is objective truth because he created that truth.
Okay, all right.
That's
So if
essentially what
God
it
was
is.
doing something evil, how would you know?
Yeah, if God was doing something evil, how would you know? Because, well, no, he can't do evil. That's the whole premise. God being an
That's what
all,
I'm saying. Then
the
you're not
actual, like
even
one of the
equipped for this
definitions of
argument.
God
You
in the
have no.
ontological
You can't even
argument
say
would
if
be a
God is good or
massively
evil
great
because you
point.
don't know.
And you're not even
Okay,
letting
well,
me
you don't
finish my
know.
point, and you're just going off to regular points. This is a total red herring. You're not addressing the actual point that I brought up. Is that it? Or you're
Dude,
just not
you're
going to
not
address my point?
equipped for this debate because you
I
can't
never
tell us
what?
if God does evil or not. You're saying God can't do evil, but you're
That's
saying he can
exactly the
do
point.
good, right? So you're saying God can do good, right? Though.
God can only do good because that is exactly how he's described.
Oh, okay. So how do you know if God is doing something good then?
Because he created that good standard. He created it.
Okay. Okay. So what standard? What are you talking about? How do you?
Yeah,
If
so
God made the action good, how do
being the
you know it's
source of
good?
objective morality, he would have objective morals to say what is good, and if he says he is all good, that would mean he is all good because that is all he can do.
Okay. Right. So God says these laws that he passed are all good and doing good and right in his sight, right?
Which laws are you talking about?
All of them.
Okay. It's just because if you're
Right.
going to bring up laws and you're going to go into some like
I'm just trying to give you an example. God says these laws that I'm giving you are what's doing good and right in my sight. He says all his laws are good, right?
yes.
Oh, okay. So you don't think it's objectively wrong to own slaves, right?
Yeah, so that actually, that's exactly what I was trying to say, is that you actually have to understand the context of what Leviticus is actually talking about. Leviticus, do you know what Leviticus
Yeah, it's talking
means?
about slaves.
Do you know what Leviticus
Property,
means? Do you know what the book of Leviticus was for?
I know what words mean.
Now, do you know what the book of Leviticus was written to and why they were written?
Yeah, it's a law code.
Yeah, do you know why that law is not actually universal to today? Do you know why that is?
Can you just address the actual passage?
Yeah, so the point is that the addressing of slavery in biblical times were
right.
It's okay, how do I explain? It was accommodated. It's not condoned, it's accommodated. Do you know what that means? Accommodated? It's not
good, though, right?
God saying that it's good. It's him accommodating
God says,
it because
all my laws are good.
Yeah, so the Levitical law was for the tribe of Levi. That was for a specific tribe.
So was it good or not?
So yeah, it was good for the time, but then God changed his laws and actually led to the abolition of slavery. God accommodated for it because slavery, because the actual biblical.
Where does God ever abolish? You're a liar. Where does God ever abolish slavery in the Bible?
Yeah, actually through Christians. Through Christians, they abolished slavery.
Where does it say it? Show us. Show us
not
where
in the Bible.
Slavery is now abolished.
The Bible was not written in the 1800s.
Yeah, no shit. So Christians abolished it later, and that means the Bible was wrong because later y'all changed it.
What I was saying was that the Levitical law was for the tribe.
Yeah, I gotta go, but yeah, that's hilarious. That's a cute story, buddy. So slavery is wrong because Christians 2,000 years later decided it was wrong, and that makes God wrong in the Bible, even though God never says that was wrong. Yeah, we got you. Anyway, I've got to run along now. I got to get to work. Got a long day coming up here, but holy shit.
Good talking to you.
Wow. Bye, Jerry. I hope you have a good one. I hope everybody has a good one.
Much love
to all out there. And don't forget, if Christians say God is wrong, that means God is wrong. Don't forget, that was the whole takeaway from that point there.
I'd say rescue God.
It's not in the Bible. Christians decided in 1850 it was wrong, so that means God was wrong in the Bible. And that's what we're dealing with.
He didn't know any better.
No, of course not. Objective morals are only objective if it's people doing it. Our God can't be doing that. It can only do good. It can't do evil. I can tell you why it's good, but I can't, or why it's evil, but we just know it. This is truly sad, Gavin. Truly sad. But anyway, we will catch y'all tomorrow, and we will